What up, people? It's Nickopz here, and today I'm going to be making a member requested video. So, in case you didn't know, I enabled memberships on my channel around 3 months ago. It's just for people who want to support the channel more, and I have 3 tiers, and the highest tier you can get me to talk about any topic regarding Mortal Kombat once a month. So, that's what I'm doing here, and I'm going to read it out. Month 3, happy birthday, by the way. Thank you for wishing me happy birthday. Can you make a video with one tip for fighting against each character? No more than 45 seconds for each character. Don't be obvious like armor through Takeda's gaps or use Sub-Zero cameo against Quan Chi unless that's genuinely all you have to say. I don't think any character is so carried you need to use the obvious tips here, but I understand sometimes obvious tips are what people need. Recording issue. Obvious tips are what people need. All right, so let's get into this right away. Now, there are some characters that I think aren't going to need a video, so I'll just talk about them right here in the character select when it comes to them. But for the most part, I think I'm going to have to talk about the characters in game. Okay, he said no more than 45 seconds, so let me get Liu Kang out of the way. Liu Kang is my most hated character in the game personally, and best believe I'm ready to deal with this character. The one thing I can say about Liu Kang to where you don't really need to make a video on, and I'm sorry, Flork, but this is one of the obvious ones you said. I got to cash in on that one here. Pick Sub-Zero cameo. Sub-Zero cameo completely kills this character for the most part. He can still get around some of the stuff with Nitara, but if you are having a problem dealing with Liu Kang, pick Sub-Zero cameo. Trust me. If it wasn't for Sub-Zero cameo, this character would be top 3. Easily. Easily. For Kenshi, if you're having a problem dealing with his pressure, again, this is just one tip. You know, I have a lot of tips for this character, but when he does this right here, and then he goes in for his pressure, you want to armor after the Sento hits usually. You know, if the Kenshi player is not stopping you, of course, because Sento might break armor, but he doesn't. So that's one tip I can give for him. And since I'm still in the 45-second mark, another thing I'll say is be very lame against Kenshi. Like, besides having that move where he runs in, Kenshi really does have to walk you down. And make Kenshi earn getting in, because after he gets in and got you sandwiched, it's GG's. Now for Cyrax, use the new replay feature they put in the freaking game. Cyrax was my most played character last patch, and she is really good. I think she's good, but a lot of people don't know how to fight her. That's why I've fallen back on playing this character, because some people might be fine with beating people that don't know what they're doing, you know, against the character, but a lot of people in this lazy community have not figured out how to deal with Cyrax. So use that new replay feature to figure out how to get out of some of the setups. That's the main thing I can say about this character, because a lot of the bombs you can just jump and get out of the setup, but a lot of people don't know that. All right, this is a tip I have to deal with Havik. Now, this is a character specific thing, not character, a cameo specific thing, but Mavado's popular, so this should help a lot of players. So when he does this broken move right here into neck snap, if you have Mavado, he can actually come out and help you from taking the damage from that. The tip I have for Homelander is get your anti-air conversions down. If you're fighting Homelander and when he starts floating and everything, if you don't have your confirms down for poking him out of the air whenever you're ready, the Homelander player is going to do very well against you. There's so many players that just don't poke him out of the air. Well, I want to say there's so many players that don't get the most out of poking him out of the air. So when you poke him out of the air, make sure you have your character specific optimal for poking him out of the air. For Ermac, the best tip I have for dealing with this character is backdash a lot of his cancels. Ermac does not have plus cancels overall. Ermac is meant to cancel and be left in a good position after he cancels, to where you have to deal with more of his buttons. And he usually has to backdash to keep pressuring you. But if you backdash too, that makes him have to chase you down. So that means he'll have to cancel it into something like this, into that move, which if you're making him cancel into something to chase you down, you're adding more layers. That other cancel, if you would have stayed there, could have been something that got you mixed. Now, my tip against Reptile is neutral jump a lot. The Reptile has a way to counter this, but that's not what this video is about. Reptile has a bunch of forward advancing strings. And if you try to play neutral with him, you can end up getting blown up a lot for it. But if you neutral jump a lot of his stuff, you can really be ready to punish him. All right, now for Kitana. I don't think Kitana needs a video. For Kitana, a lot of people need to just slow down. She's a character that's meant to capitalize off of your mistakes and doesn't have a lot of ways to open the opponent up. But she is one of the best, how can I say, yeah, she's one of the best zoners in the game and a really good space control character. But if you just play lame against her and block low, you'll have a much easier time than playing sporadic like a lot of people do against her. Another quick one is Shao Kahn. Shao Kahn is a great character when his weapon is dropped, and he's an okay character when it's not dropped. With this character, you need to mash. I know somebody memed me in the past because I said that before, but with this character, you need to mash. He has very bad mids. He might as well not even have a mid. And down 3, down 4, and down 1 in that order are going to be your best friend against this character. Actually, down 4, down 3, down 1 in that order, that's going to be your best friend against this character. For Sektor, people need to stop overly respecting her zoning. Her zoning is good, but it is not as good as everybody acts like it is because her rockets don't have a good hurt box. Now, her zoning's okay. It is, but people act like she's the best zoner. She isn't. So, as you can see, I got her to do this projectile right here. You see, if you just jump, like, you're not getting hit by the rocket in that one right there. Even her air one, her good one. Her projectile has, like, travel time. So, you see, I didn't get hit by that one as well. So, there you go. The zoning's okay, just don't overly respect it. And for smoke, you know, I could say the obvious tip, make sure you're up blocking that string right there. But a really good tip for smoke that I feel like a lot of people do not actually do. Smoke is more scary when he's invisible. So a lot of people, when they're pressuring smoke, they are kind of looking for this move. But honestly, you should just let him hit you with the armor. Trust me, I know it might sound a little crazy, but let smoke hit you with the armor if he can, because it's better than him going invisible and mixing you. So yeah, if you're pressuring him, just go ahead and don't be afraid to pressure him. If he armors, oh well. Now, against Tanya, I see a lot of people after this stream try to down one and contest her. That's what you don't want to do. When she's doing this string right here, you need to counter her with range buttons, because a lot of them like to backdash and try to clip you with the mid again, and everyone's just mashing down one after this because they want the pressure to stop. But no, you need to contest her with range normals, because a lot of them will do this right here. They'll do this and backdash. Matter of fact, you do that again. They'll do this and then backdash and try to catch you with it again. And you want to do like a range normal to catch them, or forward dash into a normal. All right, this is my tip for dealing with Baraka. Baraka, of course, does this thing by chipping you out into that. And an obvious thing to say is the flawless blocking and everything, but he actually has an armor gap right before he swings that it is a little weird to time it. See, I'm trying to time it right here. I'm trying to remember the timing again. I think it's right before he jumps. Yeah, right there, right before he jumps. There you go. Stop being so scared of Lau's freaking dive kick. I don't know why people are so terrified of this move. This is probably the weakest his dive kick has ever been. And The only thing that was good about this character is his armor move. When he had that and he didn't have to spend 2 bars on it, I genuinely thought he was top 10. But now, Lau's in the dirt. And a lot of people are so deathly afraid of this dive kick. Don't be afraid of this dive kick. Act like the dive kick isn't even there. Because realistically, how many times they have to hit you with this dive kick for it to be scary is not enough for people to be so deathly afraid of it. Again, yeah, he has the bar to launch, but now he's going to have to spend a lot of that bar to keep this move good. Now, this tip is a risky one versus Raiden, but it's something I don't see a lot of people doing. So, Raiden, we all know he has overhead right here, but this is it can actually be up blocked. And a lot of people don't up block this overhead. If you know he's going to do it, don't be afraid to throw it out sometimes, because if you get mixed by it anyway, there's no reason not to throw this out a couple of times. Like, he's meant to mix you up with it. You need to make it scary for him at least a little bit to do that overhead. But a lot of people don't block it. So, up block it. So, if you think he's going to do it, don't be afraid to throw it out sometimes. The up block. Just sometimes. There are going to be some up block ones in this because with Noob, too many people let Noob get away with this move right here. Way too many people. Start up blocking that, please. You can go in and get a full combo punish. Against Mileena, delay wake up is your best friend for her 50-50s, like her quick 50-50. These 50-50s right here, you know, if she whips the overhead and you're delaying, you could get a good punish on her. And a lot of times you can avoid what she's going to do 50-50 wise if you just delay wake up. You know, of course, that don't mean do it all the time. A good player will catch on and blow you up for it, but delay wake up on this character. Make her have to think more on pressure. If people don't stop letting Rain zone them, I'm going to lose my freaking mind. Rain is not a good zoner. Rain is a good anti-zoner. His projectiles are not good. This one is okay, but he literally lifts up and waves that, whatever that is, that electric rain thing on you. If you're getting hit by this consistently, I don't know what to tell you. But besides that, his projectiles are not good. He's good at stopping you from zoning him, but he's not a good zoner himself. If you have to throw some projectiles at this bubble just to make him stay there, then do that, because he really cannot zone you out. Takeda is one where I'm stumped. Florp said the thing I would have said, honestly. This character is so bad, I genuinely don't see how you have a problem dealing with him. So, yeah, I know you made him Florp, but again, I can't think of anything else. I just don't see a lot of people armoring through the gap in this move right here. Well, he can't do anything. Literally, he cannot do anything without having a gap in that move, and that's one of his, supposed to be his best tools. So, again, I got nothing for Takeda. This character is terrible. Like, I genuinely don't see how you can struggle against this character if you are a half-decent player. So to protect your eardrums from bursting, because this is one tip on how to deal with each character. See, Sub-Zero players have a magical power to burst your eardrums with all their complaining about this character. So against this character, what you want to do is make sure when they start yelling and getting ready to punch a hole in their wall, you got to tell them, calm down, play Chameleon. Just pick Chameleon. I know you don't want to. I get base Sub-Zero is bad, but it's okay. Don't punch a hole in your wall. That's the 5th one today, Sub-Zero player. Just play Chameleon. Just do it. It'll be okay. My tip for dealing with Scorpion, because this is specifically Scorpion Ferra, because I still think Scorpion is a trash character without Ferra. I know there are some people that disagree with that, but literally there was only genuinely one person in the world, one, doing good with this character before Ferra. So I think with Ferra, people need to realize after, Scorpion gets Ferra out, like if he's off Ferra, you need to go in on this character like crazy. He still has some ways to keep you back, but base Scorpion is not good enough to keep you in check all the time until that Ferra comes back. The thing with Omni-Man is you really need a turtle against this character a lot. Omni-Man should not be opening you up a lot. He does not have a lot of tools to open you up. He has a lot of tools to play like an idiot, to play crazy and just get in, but he cannot mix you when he gets in. Like, even the move that they buffed, I don't even know the frame data on it off the top of my head. 28 frames, 14 frame low. You can fuzzy guard that. This character should never open you up off of like the low or the overhead or anything. He should only catch you making a mistake. So turtle against this character, don't let him open you up, and you should be fine. An Omni-Man player should have to grab you multiple times to kill you. I don't have any tips for Shang, honestly. I think Shang is a terrible character, and he's so bad I don't see what you could have a problem dealing with, but the zoning. I mean, you can throw a Sub-Zero assist on. That's something I could say. But, you know, honestly, I don't have any tips for dealing with the character. He's barely picked. He's not good. And I'm honestly happy he's not good because I don't like his archetype. And he's just really bad. There's no other way to say it. Like, just don't really care about the projectiles. That's all he has. Just bulldog your way in and just not care. For Quan Chi, you need to lab specifically with your character on how to deal with his armor portals. There are not universal ways to deal with that portal. That's why a lot of Quan Chi players can really mess people up because they don't know how to get out of the portal stuff. You need to lab how to get out of the armored portal for your specific character. A lot of the characters have ways to get out, but a lot of people don't know how to get out of them because it's so specific. But trust me, if he could do all that stuff with the portal on the cast and it was just unstoppable, we know by now. But a lot of characters can get out. Lab it. We're going to go ahead and exempt Ghostface for this one because he just came out. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and combine these two characters because both of these characters have the same flaw. And they gave both of these characters the same flaw on purpose. These characters are meant to be grapplers. So with grapplers, they don't want grapplers to hit you with something and keep going. They want grapplers to be in your face and then make you guess, and that's it. So with both of these characters, you need to make sure you're taking your turn back very well. Don't just poke against them all day. A lot of their moves, as you can see with Geras here, they're very negative overall. So when they press something and you block it, you want to counter poke with your overhead, your low, your mid. You don't want to just poke against them a lot. And like with Reiko has the same thing. When he's in your face, like that's -6. His mid, his overhead is -6. I think his sweep is his sweep is plus. So yeah, don't do it against that. And the down 4 is good for ignoring your counter poke, but overall, you want to make sure that you're taking your turn back very well against both of these characters because they're negative on a lot of their moves. A better way to put it, they're negative enough to where you can consistently take back your turn with something very potent. For Nitara, I feel like if you have a genuine problem dealing with this character, you need to pick up Sonya Assist. Like if you just hate this character that much, if you just hate this abomination that much, just make sure with your main you have a Sonya Assist ready to go. Because what Sub-Zero Assist is to Liu Kang, that's what Sonya Assist is to Nitara. Now for Sindel, there are some characters that can get out of her hard to blockable. There are some characters to where she just cannot set it up on easily because their armor is too fast and forward advancing. So definitely see if your character does not have to deal with that. Because if you don't, consider yourself lucky. Because then she essentially turns into a character who has to condition you to take the mix instead of just always throwing out the armor breaking mix on, you know, a lot of characters in the cast. it's really hard to give advice on Johnny because he's so perfect. But the best way I can say to the best thing I can say, I mean, to deal with this character is make sure you get your fuzzy guard now, because you don't want to get hit by these slow overheads, because all his strings, the low is faster than the overhead. So you want to practice just blocking low, then high. So with this string right here, look how the overhead is, and look how the low is. You can tell. See, that low comes out 16, its overhead comes out 24. That low comes out 17, the overhead comes out 24. So, yeah, that's the main thing I can say with Johnny, even though, you know, it won't help that much because he's still Johnny. Please stop being scared of Lee May's projectile. You don't really need to be scared of this. She has nothing to play the projectile game, and you need to force this character to come to you. So, when this character is in your face, just also make sure that you're punishing this. The second hit of that is a high, so you could duck that. I see a lot of people not ducking that move. But, yeah, this character, you know, is not really popular, so you ain't got to worry about her that much. But, yeah, don't be scared of these projectiles. They're not good. She has the worst projectile game in the game, because they just won't let her have this be a mid on block. They won't let her meter burn be a mid. With Ashrah, this is probably one of the most important tips to deal with this character. When she does this move right here, do not try to jab her while you're on the ground and then get a combo. What you want to do when you're dealing with this move right here is you want to jump with her. If she meter burns this up slice, you want to punish her by jumping with her. That's going to take out the mind game of it. You're just going to always jump. When you see this move, whether it's normal, this, you're going to jump to try to punish her out of it. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And Nickopz out.